hear the front one, but I don't see this one. Yeah, I can hear this puppy sparking away. That's the issue. I first got initiated in the motorcycle world from my father. My father's had a friend who rode up to the house when I was very young. I was probably 6, 7 years old, perhaps. I don't know exactly when, but he came up on a scooter, rode up on a scooter, and I was sitting there on the front porch of the house, and he rode in on this thing and parked it and chatted with my dad, and I just sat and admired this thing, and he took me for a ride. And to this day, I can still picture leaving my parents' driveway, going up the road and going for a ride through the neighborhood. And that's what started it. I do believe that's what started it, even though I was unaware of what monster that created. But that's what I recall, and that was at a young age. My name is Brian Keating, and Keating Wheel Company is the business name. I'm located in Plainfield, New Hampshire. I've been doing motorcycles, vintage motorcycles, probably close to 40 years now, a lifetime. And it's been a labor of love. I tend not to put too much gasoline in these things. I don't know when I'm going to ride them next. This one here I will run until the snow flies. So we're going to fill it up. And I'll put in some of my secret mystery mixing sauce too to give it some top end lube, and which will make it smoke a little bit, but it'll make it happy. Keating Wheels Company started out in about 1893. It was a bicycle manufacturer in Massachusetts, and of course my namesake is Keating. And I came across, actually my father found a Keating Wheel March. It's a music sheet for the Keating Wheel Company. It had their own theme song or whatever you call it, I'm not sure. But my father found that in an antique shop, and that kind of opened my eyes. I was, oh, that's pretty cool. With research, many years of research, I found that Keating made bicycles, and from like 1893 to 1897, 1898. And then in like 1902, he manufactured a motorcycle. With research and due diligence, I located information saying there was such a thing as a Keating motorcycle. A friend of mine, Jim Hall, Woodsville, New Hampshire, was working on a gentleman's furnace, and in the basement of this house was parts and pieces of what we now know as a Keating motorcycle. In high school is when I bought my first motorcycle. It was a British two-stroke, I can't remember the name, Royal Enfield. I think it might have been a Royal Enfield. It was a real junker. You know, I paid maybe $100, if that. And actually I had a buddy who bought one like it, so it was him and I both jumped in with both feet trying to get these things running and riding, and we both ended up pushing them more than riding them because they would just break down and we'd be stuck out in the middle of nowhere and have to push them back home. And when you get on a new motorcycle, you get on it and go 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, no issues, no problems. You get on an old bike, you kind of life slows down a little bit. It's a whole different frame of mind. You relax more. I'm not in a hurry to go somewhere. I just get on it and enjoy life, breathe the fresh air. And yeah, it's definitely a different frame of mind. It really is. It's nice to slow things down a little bit at times. And on a vintage motorcycle, you'll tend to do that. Yes, I'm a firm believer in unrestored originals, firm believer in crust and rust and patina. Patina is a word that's overused, but original weathered patina I'm a fan, definitely a fan. It's the bike talks to you, the vehicle talks to you. When it's original, as last raced, as last used, you can tell the original owner or the previous owner, it was something special to them. And a lot of times, I don't deviate from that. If an owner has made it their own, I tend to keep it that way. I'm only a caretaker for a short spell. The original owner, the prior owner, especially if they've had it for many years, will always be the original owner. But restorations, we don't really do restorations much anymore. We tend to stay with the preservations, the unrestored originals. Ratty and tatty is a term that I use. The hunt is almost as good as the purchase, because just to see, even if I can't get the chance to buy the motorcycle, it's just fun sometimes to see them in their as-found states, where they've been cocooned up or buried in a cellar hole, a barn, a garage. I've found motorcycles over in Ludlow, Vermont, for instance. It was an old Victorian. It was in the third floor. It was actually in the attic of a third floor apartment house. I found motorcycles in barn silos. God, it's just unbelievable where you can find them. Some scenarios happens within a couple, 3 hours. Here again, depends on the machine. And other times it takes months, to get a machine back to life. It's again, it's an adrenaline rush. When you get to the point where you either put it on the roller starter, you kick it for the first time, and you hear it pop and make all kinds of noises, and then all of a sudden it comes to life. It's a good thing. Ignition on. It's kind of like what it's all about. It's just bringing it back to life. It really is. And I've been fortunate too, through the years, to find a lot of motorcycles, machines, what have you, that have been tucked away for years, out of sight, out of mind, and bringing them here and bringing them back to life, and either keeping them or recycling them back into the mix for others to enjoy. I bet you I've had over a couple hundred motorcycles doing this, probably even more. I've never really counted, but I got a collage of photographs that someday I could probably fill a wall in here of the bikes that I've purchased, and they all have their own stories. I would like to keep them all, and if I had a building or a facility, I would have hundreds, but don't have the ways and means to keep them all. It's it's a business too, so I can't afford to keep them all. But we keep them as long as, there's some bikes I've kept for probably, 25, 30 years, plus. So it's, some bikes stay longer, others go pretty quick. Some talk to me, so to speak. I have another friend who, that's what he literally says. If the bike talks to me, then it's got a home forever. I foresee doing it the rest of my life. It's something that I can do. It's a passion. Maybe not with the fever or the pitch that I'm doing it now. I do foresee slowing it down some, and I am slowing it down to a degree. I don't get into full bore restorations anymore. But I foresee doing it the rest of my life. I do. It's in the blood. You can't say no. It's really hard to say no.